If there is one person who likes to keep working on his craft, that person is my guest today. An energetic, helpful, and the expressive personality. Please welcome Ramanathan NS on a talk with Tabriz.
Thank you.
Rama sir, thank you very much for agreeing to do this. How is everything at your end?
As I say, with all the pluses and minuses, we have to push on our life. That is why I look at things with a positive mindset.
May I know what keeps you going at the age of 70?
I'll tell you, my life was a roller coaster. And my mother had always advised me, whatever comes in your life, two things you have to keep in mind. One is keep a smile on your face and a positive mindset in your heart. And the number two is the real life is when you live for others, not for yourself. When you live for others, automatically your life will be taken care of.
So, who are those people in your life?
So there are many, there are friends, there are relatives, there are family, there are Toastmasters, as you are aware. I have seen in Toastmasters where I am connected for nearly 25 years, more than 25 years.
Yes.
And I have seen that mutually supportive policy which is narrated in every club meeting is really practiced by many Toastmasters in their lives. It is not related to Toastmasters. It is outside the sphere of Toastmasters. So that is why I love Toastmasters. And people ask me, as you ask now, what is keeping you going is one of the things is Toastmasters.
Oh, nice, nice. May I know how many days you take to prepare a speech?
It depends on the particular speech, when it is to be delivered and where it is to be delivered. For example, we have to go through the project requirements for delivering a speech. Some project requirements are very tough. So you might have to prepare it for nearly 3 weeks, 4 weeks. But normally I take 2 weeks in advance because I write down the speech, send it to my mentor or some other advisors, get it vetted out, and then come back, deliver, practice in the house or even on video like this with some friends.
Yeah.
And then if it is a contest, then I generally prepare 3 months in advance.
Oh.
This is my style of preparation.
So you have already started the preparation for district, or it is already ongoing from maybe a couple of months back?
Yeah, I actually, as you are very well aware that for a humorous speech contest, I'm going to represent our Division U in the district conference eloquence, which is going to be held in Jaipur, District 98 from March 23, 24 and 25.
Yeah.
I mean, May 23, 24, 25, in the month of May in Jaipur, very hot season.
Yeah.
But then we have to live with it, as I said. This humorous speech, which I was titled as Vitamin M, I had delivered a speech in the district level, I mean, the division level in Saudi Arabia, a similar speech called Vitamin M, money, yes. And then at that time in the division level, I didn't get a prize. That was in Saudi Arabia.
Oh.
And there were so many biases in those days. And we knew very well that I didn't get the prize. But that was not announced when Ed Tate was discussing this. The world champion was present in Saudi Arabia at that time. And some children who were doing the youth leadership program asked him, "Sir, what do you find in the contest?" He said, "The cultural difference." Then they asked the children, "What is the cultural difference?" Then he said, "There is one guy who spoke about money, and he said that one sentence he used, like, how many of you feel that money is the root cause of all your troubles?" People raised. Then he said, "Don't worry, I will take care of all your troubles. Give me all your money." And nobody in the audience laughed. In America, there would have been a roar of laughter for this sender.
Yeah.
So the cultural difference is there. Maybe they didn't understand the joke or what happened. I don't know. So this is something I learned on that day, that know your audience and the culture where you are going to deliver your speech. So I modified the speech to that extent when I'm giving this vitamin M in this year. And by God's grace, I did a good job as everybody told me. And I am now in the district. Let us hope for the best.
We are with you. I'll be cheering for you. I may not be coming to Jaipur, but my vitamin M is on you.
So one more thing I always say is, as my favorite sentence goes to my mentees, my club members, my fellow Toastmasters, is not only in Toastmasters, anywhere you go on the stage to perform something, try to do your best. Prepare very well and try to excel. Winning is just a consequence. Participation with all your efforts is your commitment.
Yeah.
Whether it is in an exam or it is in an interview, it is okay. Accept the result, go ahead with your life.
Thank you. What do you feel the importance of voice modulation in delivering your message?
Voice modulation has got a lot of value. Let me be very frank with you. Any speech has to come from the heart. If I am going to speak about all and effect on society, I may not be able to give a good speech because I don't know much about this new all system in the world. I am coming from a paper era. But on the other hand, if I'm going to talk about stock market, for example, I will be able to do very well because I'm quite knowledgeable about it and I can talk a good speech. Like as you said, vitamin M. So what I suggest is, when you bring voice modulation, you bring the characters to life. Let me give you one example in my speech of this vitamin M. I go and consult my uncle who has two lovely daughters. And I was planning to marry one of them. Uncle was very rich. So I went and I was discussing when I saw his manager coming, rushing, huffing and puffing, and telling my uncle, "Sir, that cashier we appointed last month is a rogue, he's a scoundrel, he's a thief." My uncle said, "Hey, Panduranga, do not judge a person by his appearance. No, sir, I am judging by his disappearance with all our money." So what happens is, the character of that manager and the character of my uncle are brought to life because of the voice modulation.
Great example. And you often talk about your stay in Saudi Arabia in 90s, and just a few minutes back you mentioned Saudi Arabia, and you also mentioned a lot of anecdotes around your marriage. What do you feel, how much of an importance does our personal stories and anecdotes have in crafting a message for the audience?
Example from history definitely enhances your speech value, no doubt about it. Whether you're talking about Nelson Mandela or Mahatma Gandhi or Mother Teresa, for information, people do get aligned with you.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Kapil Dev winning the 1983 World Cup. These are all bringing memories back to the hearts of the people who know about the story.
Yeah.
But personal stories are never known to the audience. So they are more curious to know about them, and their attention to your personal stories are much higher. So when you narrate your personal stories, definitely you grab the attention of the audience much more than when you narrate the historical examples. This is my personal opinion. I'll tell you one example. I was giving a speech in a humorous speech called "How to Be Happy Though Married."
Right.
So interactions with my wife, what was the experience? Personal stories, but slightly exaggerated and bringing in a bit of humor. And I had given that at the area level contest. And there was a judge who was a Saudi lady. And of course, I got the first prize in that contest. After the contest was over, she came back and said, "Congratulations, Toastmaster Ramanathan. I would like to meet your wife." Then I said, "Oh, sorry, madam, she has not come today. But anyway, I am now in the division. Division contest is in Jubail, where we were in another city called Khobar,
Yeah.
about 140 kilometers away in Saudi Arabia. And she attended this meeting in Jubail. where I had given the same speech. And after that, she met my wife and she said, "You know what all things he spoke in your speech?" So she said, "Yeah, I know about it because I am an English teacher and I only correct his speeches." She got a shock of her life. So she said, "Oh God, I didn't know that." Then I told her the culture is different, madam. Saudi Arabia is different. Indian mindset is different. So this is another example of what I told you before, that cultural differences play a very important role when you are traveling to different places in the world. You have to understand that and give your speeches accordingly. Know your audience. This is one of the most important factor, and give such stories that will be easily aligned with the audience.
Absolutely. And how will you feel if you become world champion of public speaking? Can you explain your emotions at that point?
See, that is the dream of many Toastmasters, especially who are participating in the international speech contest. And the topic that you select has to be of an international value, which is something we have to understand.
Yeah.
So let us hope for the best. Last time I was the number two in the District 98 contest. I'm looking forward to it, and it will be really an honorable award in my life.
Yeah.
So let us see.
We are all rooting for you. Let's quickly move to the next question. What is your most important learning from the life, if you can enlighten us?
I was a very short-tempered character. I used to lose temper on small things and react very fast, which was unnecessary, in my opinion. I learned it during my lifestyle. So I tell people two things. One, we always remember anger is one letter short of danger.
Yeah.
So you lose relationship for no reason at all because of a spontaneous response to a particular situation or a particular statement. Try to learn to be a bit cool, calm, and composed and think rationally before you respond. This is one thing I have learned. The second thing I learned is empathy. This is something which I feel people should start creating in themselves, that come what may, whatever may be our situation, we should always try to help others, support others, uplift the downtrodden, because we are very lucky to be in this position as compared to many people in the world who are suffering, who are in a very negative side of life, and they are struggling to make the both ends meet in a day. So create that empathy in you, and you will see that whatever you give to the society will always come back to you multifold. This is my opinion. So these two things keep in life. One is anger, please control. Second is empathy, please create.
Now, sir, the one area where I struggle a lot is to speak impromptu. What do you suggest? How can I improve this weakness of mine?
This is called as table topics in Toastmasters, impromptu speaking.
Yeah.
Impromptu speaking helps a lot in the day-to-day life also. I'll give you an example also. How to improve in table topics? Number one is practice. You have to participate in more and more table topics and you will realize how to do it. And also attend other table topics contests and other clubs table topics, so you will come to know. Also, you also have to read books. Have some quotes ready with you, which you can always bring into the topic given, provided it is apt.
Yeah.
And third thing is have some 7, 8 personal stories. And I can tell you that most of the time you can link one of the stories to the topic given.
Achha.
Most of the time. So these are all some tricks of the trade you can always apply. And one more thing I can add here, Tabriz, that see, I am very passionate about watching movies.
Yeah.
So many a time I give examples of movies history into my speeches. Like for example, I bring the example of Amitabh Bachchan, who lost 200 crores and was on the verge of bankruptcy, and how he bounced back in life. So this is one example which I found very useful in many table topics. And Amitabh Bachchan is a known figure. So many people, even in the Gulf, Amitabh Bachchan is very popular.
Oh,
Then I talk about Shah Rukh Khan, how Shah Rukh Khan was on the roads and how he's struggling, taking a small role in a TV serial, and how he came up in his life.
yeah.
So these things appeal to the lot of audience, and especially in the table topics in a 2 minute speech, when you bring such examples, people think, अरे यार रामनाथन सर कहाँ से लेके आता है ये सब? कहीं से नहीं लेके आता है. I am prepared for it. So you keep prepared things, and when the speech comes like positive attitude is a key to success. Just for example, I'm giving you, or they say one key to success. So when this topic is one key to success, I can use the example of Amitabh Bachchan or Shah Rukh Khan or something, right?
Yeah.
So this is the way. So I'm already prepared. People don't know that.
Absolutely. It's
All
a
the
trick.
best.
Thank you. And sometimes, Rama sir, we perform badly on stage and it affects our mental health. It takes a toll on our mental health. And the next few days are very difficult to handle. What do you suggest in that case?
One thing is, it will definitely, you will be brooding on that when you slips on something on the stage, you think that you have made a fool of yourself.
Yeah.
Sort of a auto suggestion I tell to everybody is, give yourself, it's okay, it is all right, let us move on. It is okay, it is all right, let us move on. Tell it to yourself. And prayers. I'll tell you, prayers help a lot. Every religion, every aspect, every culture in the world is always believes that a prayer always strengthens your mindset and your approach to life. So I tell people, at least in a day, spend 5 to 10 minutes to yourself praying to the Almighty, whomever you may consider. This helps. I do that practically every day, and I've gone through this what you call roller coaster life, thanks to the blessings of God. This is what I believe in.
Is there any specific incident or instance in last 25 years of your public speaking journey when it happened to you that you fumbled or you messed up badly, and how did you cope with it? You obviously mentioned prayers, but how was the feeling at that point?
I generally any public speaking forum, if I have done some mistake, I don't worry too much. I take it in my stride. I'll tell you what happened in one of the presentations I was doing in a college. You might know Madam Ummai Salma
Yeah,
of our Godbandha Toastmasters Club, and she had arranged educational session of art of listening at one of the colleges in Bombay, where it was a 2 hour session where 90% of the audience was girls. So when I was showing my presentation, I mentioned something which was not in the right context for girls.
girls. Okay.
I didn't realize it. I went ahead, I finished the speech, everything. Then Umesh Salma came and told me, Rama sir, you told me like this and all. Generally, it can be avoided because the majority of the audience is girls.
Yes.
Then I said, oh, you are right. Next time I'll take care. So that disturbed me for some time. But I said, okay, next time onwards, we have to be very careful. As I said earlier, know your audience and also the culture of the audience, the numbers of the audience. These are all things very important. After that, whenever I go to any audience, I mean, any meeting or any presentation or thing, I earlier do my homework.
Yeah.
Checking up with there are foreigners in that or there are only Indians. If there are Indians, there are more of North Indians or South Indians. All those things I'll take care and then modify my presentation if required.
Basically, serve your audience and know your audience.
Correct. And we are not here to hurt anybody, but in the process of our delivery of speeches, sometimes we do hurt. So we should have the courage to go and apologize. That is one thing we should learn. We should say, sorry, Tabriz, It was not meant to be like this. I'm very sorry if I hurt your feelings. If you have that courage, believe me, relationship will continue very positive in life. Even today, I am friendly to some of the Saudis. So I have left Saudi in 2008.
That's what even I feel, Rama sir. Whatever you're doing, if you can communicate the issues or your shortcomings to the other side, they will definitely understand, or they will at least accept that, rather than not communicating and going away, or not respecting the other side enough. If we are making mistake, apologize, that's it, or just admit it, this happened probably due to lack of homework, and I apologize.
You are right. I'll tell you, this is where I love Toastmasters because they've got solid values. One is integrity. So if you are honest to yourself and honest to others, you don't have to worry. And second thing is service. We are here to serve. And the moment we serve for others, actually the real life is living for others. We are following that principle.
Yeah.
Third thing is excellence. So we are doing our best every time, and our objective is to do the best. That is the thing. Then fourth one and very important is respect. Whether he or she is an 18-year-old person or he or she is a 75-year-old person, we respect. Irrespective of caste, creed, religion, status, position in the company. See, I can still recall in Oman that we had a club in which the driver was giving a speech. And in the process, he brought some of the office things. Of course, he didn't name anybody, but the general manager was sitting in the audience and he was a bit upset. Then I went and talked to him, and he was also from my place only, Palakkad in Kerala. So I told him in Malayalam what is to be things and how Toastmaster functions and all. And he said he has brought something to light for you so that you can take corrective actions in your organization.
Yeah.
He didn't think it that way. He was thinking that why this guy is talking like this about the company.
He was complaining in public.
Yeah, he never said the name of the company
Yeah.
because I had vetted his speech. He never mentioned the names of the people concerned. He only said my manager and things like that.
Mm.
But the general manager got the clue of what I said, and in 3-4 months, some rectification was done in that company for the improvement of the employees as well as the organization. So these things also help.
Thank you, Rama sir. We are at the very end of the conversation. Just one last minute where I ask guests to speak anything motivational, humorous, story, or anecdote, but just for 1 minute. Your time. If you are ready, I'll start the time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Start.
2020, everybody may recollect of COVID times.
Yeah.
At that time, our family was undergoing terrible turmoils because my grandson was detected with blood cancer. And he was rushed to Tata Memorial Hospital. And they needed nearly 50 bottles of blood and platelets within the next 3-4 days. I, along with my friend, Postmaster Vittal, made an appeal and sent it to everybody, requesting them, please support us, please help us. This is a time of crisis. And maybe we have circulated to more than 1,000 people, including lot of Toastmasters, friends, relatives, and relatives. I requested them to circulate the message to others also. And many of them did it. And you will be shocked to know that the next day, more than 30, 35 people were there already to give that blood or platelets to my grandson. And some of them even came and shook my hands and said, sir, don't worry, everything will be all right by the grace of God. And that is empathy. Many of them don't know me, many of them don't know my grandson, but the appeal that I sent, and that made their heart feel, yes, we have to support this boy who was just about 14 years old. So, my dear friends, again, I reassert what I said before. create that empathy in you, and you will see wonders happening in your life. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you for enlightening us and emphasizing the empathy aspect. We are at the end of the conversation. I want to thank you very much, Rama sir, for doing this for me. I'll be obliged to you for the rest of my life. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tospa Tabrace, and wish you all the best in your future endeavors. God bless.